A very good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the Scottish International Open here at West Lothian Bowls Arena. We have got our quarter-finals matches coming up, and very shortly we've got Jason Banks against Paul Foster, MBE. But coming up a little bit later on, our other quarter-finals match at 6:30, we've got world number 5 Robert Paxton against qualifier Aaron Johnson. That is going to be going on a little bit later on to see if they can secure a place in tomorrow's semi-final. But without further ado, let's welcome out the players here in the arena tonight for our first quarter-finals match. Please welcome out world number 7 from Scotland, Jason Banks. He'll be playing world number 2 from Scotland, Paul Foster, MBE. Now I'm going to hand you over to Jason Parkinson in the commentary box.
Well, thank you very much, Jack. Once again, very good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the World Bowls Tour's Scottish International Open for 2024. Fantastic game ahead of us, and joining me in the commentary box for this game, all the way from Australia, Tim Christie. Good afternoon, Tim.
Jack Lynn.
Afternoon, Jason. Thanks very much for having me.
It's our pleasure. Great game ahead.
I'm really excited for this one. Two players clearly, obviously on form, but with a bit more attacking prowess and a bit of, I think we're really in for a good one. Yeah,
like you say, both players, they're not afraid to attack, and not afraid to attack early as well. So we could see a few fireworks. Looking at Paul Foster, then, well, he's beaten Paul Hartley and Mark Dawes on his way to this quarter-final. Jason Banks, he's a qualifier slayer. He's beaten John Wilson from England and Darren Weir from Scotland. Thank you for joining us. The format for this game, it's 2 sets of 9 ends, and then if they can't be split after the 2 sets, they will play a 3-end tiebreak. No dead ends allowed. If the jack goes outside the confines of the rink, then the jack will be respotted on a predetermined spot. That's equidistance from the centre of the rink and the outer rink marker, and then 3. See what happens. As always with sets play and singles play, it's going to be the battle of the first 2 bowls. That will dictate, I think, who gets that upper edge early on into this this quarter final.
Really, the first few ends you're sort of feeling each other out, seeing what the rink's doing. The 2 players have played mostly on the outer rinks. Paul obviously had a good game yesterday on the TV rink, but
yeah, that's a great bowl. Just stops the run of the first 2 bowls of Paul. Paul playing with a slightly stronger bias bowl, the Tiger model bowl. Jason's playing with the Evo, both made by the same people. It's horses for courses, the players pick with a bowl that they feel most comfortable with. Paul looking to get down to Jason's bowl or a touch on the jack. Turns it away, that's a bonus.
it's close to 2 from here, but
yeah, it's always difficult to tell without being able to see from directly above, but Jason will say, I mean, whether it's 1 or 2, I think the shot is the same. Just taking a little bit of a chance early on. Backhand with a bit of pace. He looks a little bit underneath. How's the connection onto the jack? Yeah, got away with that one.
Really nice weight coming through there. There's a few options on.
Yeah, it was ever so slightly under what he was trying to play, but this is the whole thing in the game about it's allowing yourself to play that kind of like higher percentage bowl, isn't it?
Correct. Yeah, he had about a foot that would give him a result. With that weight.
So a chance for Paul also here with his final bowl. He's just trying to get down to the pack and try and remove Jason's bowl. There's a nice plant on for him. Needs to hold up slightly. Got it.
Great shot.
Yeah, good conversion shot there as well. I think it may just be the one. I just favour the bowl to the left-hand side. There's a great picture there of the bowling club here, West Lothian Indoor Bowling Club in Livingston in Scotland. We do have another game in the semi-finals going on the outside ring, which is Mervyn King against Stuart Anderson. Measure. The old trusted box measure. It's a very accurate piece of equipment. You'd normally find the official would go to the bowl first, that they favour normally.
That one's well in.
Well in, yeah, but he has to go back now just to make sure, in case there's any movement from the measure. And then they will turn the bowl away. That's in, that's correct. So, a double on the first end.
2 shots for Paul Foster. Set score 2-0 after first end.
Jack's gone back, so Paul sent the jack. So for those new viewers to the sport, the jack has to be a minimum of 23 metres, so that was just ever so slightly short of that. So the jack will go back, which means Jason will get to cast the jack to the length that he wants, but Paul will still get the first bowl. It's not gone much further, to be fair, probably 26
Jack
metres.
length 26.5 metres.
I think with how well Paul played that shorter length last week, it was yesterday. It's a good choice, an obvious choice to go for it this early.
Yeah, well, Jason's played with Paul Foster, in World Championships, Commonwealth Games, so Jason will know what Paul's game style is, and he'll just try and shake that up a little bit.
10-inch gap.
Sometimes it's very easy when you get that free jack roll, just put it wherever they didn't.
It didn't faze him. First bowl a foot away. Slap at the thigh, he didn't like that straight away, and we can see why. It's a great effort. He's in for second. Paul will be looking just to get in between the last bowl and the jack will be ideal, just to give himself a back position as well. Just needs to run again.
Just light on.
20 inches.
Just light on again.
20.
Well, a little bit of a nuisance value. I think Jason can probably just get underneath that if he plays a nice full draw, so guaranteeing the pace. Just underneath, gets to the jack. A little touch on the bowl would be good as well. You can just see the slightly different line, just looking to get inside now, and then good pace. Can't be far away. He's played it. Well played. Oh! Did the hard bit, got underneath the front bowl and missed the easy bit.
Perfect, yeah, perfect way for it. Even grazing the front of that short front shot bowl would have been enough to stick around for shot or the trail. Unlucky not to get anything out of what was nearly perfect.
Just looked across as if to say, oh my goodness. Pull down the backhand. Again, you can see the danger. Those two balls just past the jack. That'll be the target.
Looks
Reached
light,
again.
Light again.
This may be what I call a good bad one. So it's not where he wanted it, but that's proved to be of a nuisance value. So that might force Jason to actually play a little bit quicker for the corner of this bowl.
Suspect he might have been tempted regardless with the 3 bowls at the back. This is that most recent bowl of Paul's has given him license to fly through the head.
Yeah, going quick. Has he got the corner? Has
Great
done.
shot.
Did get the corner. Well played, Jason. So Jason bounces back with a double. Set score 2 each after 2 ends.
2 shots. Jason Banks. Set
It's all
score.
part of the game. I think
2-all
sometimes you see
after
that
2
kind of a
ends.
firing shot and people think it's not part of the game, but it's actually a skill in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not. It looks easy. You know, you just got to bowl it straight down the line. You're not worrying about weight at all. You're just worrying about the line, but there is still a fair bit of variance in each green. Some will stay straighter, some will turn it a little bit more with that weight you play. Yeah, it's definite
Jack
skill in
length,
and of itself,
27
and very
metres.
separate to the draw shot. Well, that is the danger. It's very hard to get back to a nice draw after sending a bowl down at that pace.
Yeah, that's it. You've got to lose so many miles per hour out of that delivery, haven't you? And you knew straight away. I mean, it's always a good sign when you know straight away when you let go of a ball where it's going.
Great first starter here.
What's the gap there? Yeah. 6-inch gap.
Well, Jason. Yeah, well played. Sat in a good position as well, nestled in just between the bowl and the jack.
2.5-inch gap, short ball.
The way this hand plays and pulls strong bowls, he can easily get down to this jack. It's a good angle of attack.
Good
Not
weight
too
again.
far away, is he? Can he run? Just needs to run. Well, building the head up.
The last ball for Jack.
It's got a bit of value. Lets him play that half yard, that full draw, as you were
7 inches
saying
short of
last
Jack
end.
high. Quick nail, please.
Anything past the jack will be good for Jason again. You know, it's kind of almost forcing Paul to play more contained weight. He needs to run another probably a couple of feet. Yeah, not too bad. He liked it a little bit further.
Yeah, it's a tricky one to play a decent amount of weight into anyway at the moment, because that cannon will go straight onto the jack. So, be curious to see what Paul does here.
Can just chip out of there, but like you say, both of the bowls on the plant, as you can see there, they're marked with chalk, so that's what they're live bowls. So if that ball goes into the ditch, that ball still stays in play. You know, that's the issue for Paul. Not a million miles away here as well. Can he get down to a very clean jack? Oh, Paul Foster. Oh, dear me.
We're in for a good one today.
Yeah, the pace of the carpet's obviously still in both players' arms. They played in the last session, so they've literally only had probably 45-minute break, but then they went on for a practice, so probably only half an hour.
Some venues, the TV rink just becomes, so it's almost a different green, but here it's felt pretty consistent across all 4 rinks.
Yeah, I think because the heating within the venue stayed very similar. It's not dropped within probably 1 or 2 degrees. It's always been there or thereabouts. Well, Jason, he's playing a narrower line. Needs to reach into the pocket just underneath, I think. A nibble there. No.
Coming from a good place.
Just say he's close again.
That's great.
Certainly being entertained this afternoon. Some great bowls being played by both players.
2 shots, Paul Foster. Set score 4-2 after 3 ends.
So here we're looking just to get a bit more full length, medium length jack, let's say, looking at the spots. So that his mat is just ever so slightly up, so it needs to get to the next spot. There we go, has done.
Jack length 24.5 metres.
Good choice, being just slightly more conservative this time around, not going straight for the minimum minimum length.
He likes to keep the mat back and play to that 23 metre length jack. It's a lot harder, of course, because you've got to get the jack just over the 23 metres. It's a lot easier if you wanted to bring the mat right up and play 23 metres, because obviously the tee is 3 metres from the ditch, so all you need to do is just pass the tee and land within that 3 metres. But like I say, Paul does prefer to place a lot further back.
It's a definite skill in and of itself, and I think it's something that's often overlooked. The ability to place the jack exactly where you want it is a huge strategic advantage.
Yeah, I mean, where do you go where you turn up and you see people practicing with jacks? Very few and far between.
That's it, yeah. It's drilled into us as juniors back at home.
Okay.
Yeah, you've got to move the jack around. You roll it, leave it off the line, all that kind of thing, because you see so many people just put the jack on the tee, put the mat in the same spot every time. Took us for a while, but you hit a certain level of bowls, and the players that can do this will definitely get the jump on you.
4 good bowls. I think it's probably 2 to Jason Banks.
Gap to the last ball.
Making it look really, really easy, but that's just testament to how good the surface is as well. Well, Jason, can you get down to the bowl? If he gets down to the jack, well, that'd be a payday. Something wrong with it, I think.
Yeah, it's just gonna run away from him.
A million miles away.
Weight was very good for that shot.
Just wondering now whether Paul will play down the backhand, play just slightly past to cover that. You can see what Jason's doing there. You know, he can get down to the bowl for 1, but if he drags the jack, there's a 3 or 4 available. You know, Paul won't want to drop that, so he'll be looking down the backhand. Maybe a foot past and a foot wide would be perfect.
Play a defensive shot to force Jason into playing a more difficult weight at the moment it looks like he could just play a timer, but this is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, takes away a lot of the hurt.
Yeah, I'll be happy with that. Jason has to pick the pace now. Do I try and time it and turn the jack 6 or 7 inches? Do I play quicker and play for the spot rejack?
He's looking at this way. He was measuring out the spots. So
Oh, okay.
could see him again fly through this, and the way he hit the first one, you might be feeling it.
Yeah, it is possible, but you need to get it very thin. He's checked all the angles. You look at reward over risk. Let's see what pace he decides to play. Does he play for the chip the ball or turn the jack? That respot I think he's playing for now. Does he get a corner? Needs to hold up for the corner. Oh, he's unlucky. Very unlucky.
One shot, Paul Foster.
Played it really,
shot,
really well. He played
Paul
that very
Foster.
difficult pace, you know, just allowing the ball just to
Set
bend
score,
slightly.
5,
And I've just got
2
probably the only
after 4 ends.
edge that probably didn't get him a result. So 5-2 the score after 4 ends.
Another great starter here on the shorter length jack.
It's good to see a game where you've got 2 top-class players both playing on form at the same time, isn't it?
Yes, that's Paul.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to be really spoiled this game.
Jason's Paul. Yes, Jack high.
I think as well that they're playing their draw shots and their timers and drives.
Yeah, and they're not losing the weight neither, are they?
That's
Sometimes
it,
when you
yeah.
play a lot of attacking bowls, your draw weight kind of slips off, but that's certainly not happening here.
Yeah, what did we see? We saw literally one draw bowl that was maybe 2 foot through the head, and Jason was straight back to it. So.
Needs to hold up and run for that second shot. Oh. Turns it slightly further away. Paul Foster's still got the 2 seconds. We may see something a little bit more adventurous here. He's thinking about something. So it's quite a wide target, you know, 2 seconds. If he's slightly off the target, there's a couple of bowls to work off down there.
Yeah, a little bit of a funnel. Wouldn't be surprised to see 2 yards, 3 yards through the head. Maybe not blowing it up just yet.
No. Just a delicate shot. He can turn his own, gets to the jacks, good. In the parish. Can he get down to the bowl now? Oh my goodness. Very unlucky.
2 seconds against me. Fair deal. 2 seconds against you.
This is where you just got to take that little bit of risk.
Yeah, you got to beat him to it. You know,
Yeah.
this is, you have to respect the opponent you're playing against, and I
Exactly.
think he's not going to miss twice. I think he's really taken that shot away. A little touch would be very handy, but very unlucky to not make the head better there.
Paul's like, that's nothing special, I can do that as well. Straight through the hole. Nothing special, I've done that. I don't know whether he may just run this on the backhand.
Yeah, but if he hits the jack and sort of sprays it out, worst case scenario is going to be one down with Jason's last bowl.
Yeah.
So
I think the only bad result is if he gets the corner of the jack and plays the jack down the back, but then runs into the shot bowl and gives Jason a very easy two.
Gets out of bounds.
Yeah.
He's going for it though.
Playing more controlled, yeah.
It's a nice weight. It's a handy line too. Great ball.
Oh, perfect. Well played. Played very neat weight.
Yes, probably.
Something wrong with this.
Looks light.
Wants to miss the white disc bowl now. Oh, unlucky.
Probably enough for two.
I think it is.
2 shots, Paul Foster.
It is. So another two for Paul Foster. Just starting to creep away in this
shots.
first
Paul
set.
Foster.
7-2.
score,
Just over
7.
halfway. Defending champion Stuart Anderson, he's obviously the man to beat on this carpet at the moment. He's won it the last
Jack
couple of
length,
years.
25 metres.
He's in a good tussle against Mervyn.
Very good match here.
Yeah, they're having a really good battle. Like I say, it was normally down to the consistency of the first two bowls, but they've both been pretty consistent, just the odd one or two bowl.
Really unlucky not to get more out of that.
What, 15 inches? 22. Your balls.
Just all sneaking just ever so slightly past the jack. Under 2 feet for Paul to lose.
I think he's lost it. It's a great correction.
Big gap on that one. 7 inches short of jack high.
Wonder whether Jason will
What's
play
the
down the
gap to jack,
backhand.
sorry? The gap's 5 inches. What's the gap on my nearest as well?
Jason's trying to now figure out the angles of all those questions, and he's just trying to build a picture in his head. Right, that one's there, that one's there. But he's sticking with the forehand. Just looking for really good pace either side of the front white disc bowl.
He needs to make good contact, but he's just a bit light on there. Not a ton of danger out back there, so imagining another draw. Just the one down if it somehow gets all the way through.
Yeah, just getting slightly past his own and then into the pack and counting for another.
Yeah, that'd be the dream result, but it might have just fattened up the target. Ooh, got away with it. Good ball.
I think it is in for 2 though. Jason's just having a look at that, the plant. I mean, the backhand looks very inviting now, doesn't it, underneath there with quite a bit of pace. He's just looking at, if he can get that plant onto the jack, he has got the best bowl, but it depends on where the plant actually goes. You know, if it goes past the head, it could still be down anyway.
I think he was also maybe even looking at that cannon into Paul's back too as well, just seeing, you know, just all the angles. But we'll get confirmation in a second with the way that he plays.
He's going quick. Oh,
Shot.
wow! Blinking, you're missing. Look at this, going directly for the plant, all the jack. Look at the speed he hits this jack.
Jason Banks.
Straight over the top.
Set score.
I have no idea
7-4.
how his ball went through the
6
hole. That is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
A dream result, but definitely deserved.
I was just thinking that jack could go absolutely anywhere off the back of those bowls, but oh, don't worry about that. Straight over the top. Great shot. Wow. So, Paul Foster leads 7-3. 3 ends left in this first set.
Jack length 28.5 metres.
Come from a drive straight back to a near perfect draw.
Yeah.
This is something.
Inch perfect, look.
My ball touching there, Neil?
A little bit tricky for Jason. That's why he's asked that question. Is my ball touching? The only problem is obviously even any slight touch on his own ball, the jack will travel quite a long way. But the trouble is Paul Foster's kind of almost forced him into
Yeah,
risking
forced
it.
his hand, yeah. I think he'd be really happy with something that just sort of lands a foot and a half behind, and that ball's definitely got a lot of value, maybe a bit further than he was
Just
hoping.
in front, isn't it, Neil? Shot ball, yes. 1.5 inches.
Paul will just look at me. Banks his bowl, little crack an egg on it, just release that jack. Give himself a chance with his next 2. Can he turn the ball back? Finished in pretty decent place though.
Neil. 6 inch to the ball's closest ball.
Definitely adds a lot more risk to Jason's next bowl. It's right where the jack's going to run out to. Pretty handy area again.
Well, there is of course a chance that Paul Foster can get just slightly under it and feather the jack. That wouldn't be a very good result, do you know what I mean?
I think he's playing such good weight. I don't think he's going to get that that one's a little bit shorter, but I don't think he's going to play that weight to send it down the line.
Trouble is for Jason, there's not a lot on. Obviously, he's 4 behind, trailing in this first set. Would ideally want to try and make a pair. The trouble is, the danger is landing on the ball. He could drop a pair. He could play the forehand and actually turn Paul Foster's down onto the jack and release it for a 2 or a 3 himself.
Yeah, the issue is whatever you do, Paul's got 1 bowl left, so any shot that makes a pair or even potentially a triple would open the head up.
Yeah, you can just see from that picture there, from the map. That means it's slightly dangerous. Like I say, if you just play that backhand for the touch, the red ball gets thin edge underneath of the jack. Wouldn't want to drop a 2 or 3 right now. Probably try and play on the wider side. If you're going to miss wide.
Exactly, yeah. That's his way of looking this time.
Can you flop it down? Nearly.
One shot, Jason back.
Interesting head that, because there was a bit of risk and a bit of reward for both players.
Jason Banks.
It's who's risky enough to play it.
After 7 ends.
I think they'll both be slightly unhappy with that result, but probably good to just maybe a bit of relief to get away from that end without a 3 or a 4 in either direction.
So 2 ends to play. A minimum of 2 needed for Jason to tie this first set. If they do tie the set, they get half a point each. They don't play to win the set, they just play for, they get the half a point each, and they play into the next set.
Very handy correction there.
Yeah, good adjustment. Still 18 inches of room. Don't get many chances like this from Paul Foster. This is where Jason really needs to maximise on this opportunity.
Yeah, definitely something within his last, not opening the head up at all. Really put the pressure on. Seems in the area.
Yeah, well played. Yeah, he's taken full advantage, that's for certain. Just needs to hold up. Just going to go away right at the end. Well, Jason, another chance here to really put the pressure on.
You want to count, but not make the head any wider. Don't make that shot any easier.
Just to slow down a little bit. Yeah, that's enough.
Great ball.
Well, Paul, in a heap of trouble here. This would allow Jason to just get his nose in front right at the right time going into the last end. Doesn't like it. Now, can he limp in for third? No, just too full. Big 3 for Jason Banks.
Three shots, Jason Banks.
Well, we're going to
Set
the last
score,
end now.
7-8
Jason Banks
after 8
leads
ends.
8-7.
Jack length, 29 metres.
So looking after a really good opening bowl.
How's that, Neil? Almost 2 feet short of Jack high.
Handy first starter here.
This needs to hold up a long way. So it's Paul's turn now to take this opportunity. Line's really good. I think it's going to be the pace that will decide. Well, here comes number 2. That's a set winning line.
See, just behind it. It's,
What's a gap there, Neil?
can't ask for much more than that.
Close touching. What's a gap on Paul's second shot? 9 inches.
Still think there's something wrong with this, you know. He'll want this to run as far as it can.
And get out of the line as well. It's an okay second, but... Oh, if it is, it
I was going to say, I'm not
might have just fallen out.
100% certain that it is. He'll hope it is.
Second ball.
He'll sat on the fence. Going to say it's just close. Really good officials here at the World Bowls too. You know, they're very good at the distances. You know, that players really trust their opinion. The interesting thing is everybody these days now works in meters. You know, we take the jack length in meters. All the bowls rules for the world bowls are all in meters. However, people sometimes ask, you know, so why, when the player asks the distances, do we go to feet and inches? Well, we basically asked the players and said, you know, when you're given this information, how would you like the information to be received? And the majority of the players said, I'd rather work feet and inches. How do you do it in Australia? Is it similar?
We do it in feet and inches.
Oh, do you really?
And and it's one of those things like the only thing I know, you know, the imperial system for is bowls, and I think it's just an inch is a nice unit of measurement for bowls. A foot's a nice unit of measurement. I don't want to ask if the bowl's going into the head. Oh, how far shorter am I? And I get 18 centimeters as a response. I'd much prefer 6 inches.
Well, Jason, big bowl here, sir. Definitely wanting to reach down at least to that back bowl, guarantee himself a tied set. Not a million miles away. Can he get down to the shot bowl? Oh, he's been unlucky. Saves the set though.
Yeah, for now though, it's a one more bowl to see who gets this one. I think the form they're both in, you've got to back him in to draw one here.
You would think so. Yeah, I mean, he's played 2 good bowls out of 3 so far, hasn't he? So, yeah, he'd be looking just to almost steal this set from under Jason's feet with this last bowl. It's been nip and tuck all the way. So, nice wide line. I think the line's pretty good. I think the pace will decide again. Here it comes, you know. Here comes the winner. Here it is. Well played, Paul Foster. Well, with that last bowl, sneaks his first set from Jason Banks, and that's going to be a 9 shots to 8 first set victory.
2 shots, Paul Foster, and the first set.
Well, we're being treated to some absolute fantastic bowls here, a range of shots from both players. 9-8 is the score though for Paul Foster. Going to the second set, everything starts again. The way it works is Jason Banks would have to win this set to force a tie-break. Paul Foster now has that little luxury of maybe being able to tie the set, and then he will go through 1.5 to a half. So it's a big bowl, that. And don't forget there's that other quarter-final being played at the moment where Stuart Anderson has just taken the first set against Mervyn King as well.
Meters.
Far through is my first one, Neil. 3 feet.
Yeah, made the correction. Just lost that yard out of his pace. Two delivery styles, very different. You know, Jason Banks he's quite contained. You know, just a very small step forward, quite shouldery. Paul Foster, that very long stride forward.
It's interesting how many sort of different, almost archetypes of styles that that people have, and I do wonder if maybe it's people starting on outdoor versus indoor, quick greens and slow greens. There, what you started with is maybe what you stick with, and then you adjust
Oh yeah, tend to agree. Yeah, tend to agree. Or certain countries as well have a certain style. I mean, your delivery is quite what I would say typical Australian delivery. Then you've got the South Africans that have that kind of very clinical style of push delivery as well. So yeah, it's quite interesting. I find it quite fascinating when you see overseas players.
Might almost be down to the styles of bowls used as well. Because we have, typically the Australians, we take those tighter sets even to places like this, and maybe, I don't know, I haven't really thought too much about it, but it is an interesting thought experiment. How did these deliveries get to the way they are?
Jason sticking to this nice swingy forehand, just looking for good pace again.
Has he got it?
Needs to run a foot.
Maybe. Oh, that'll feel a little bit like a missed chance there, leaving that.
Well, Paul, you think you need to run as well? Just needs to run 2 feet. Oh, just starting to pull up again. Be a little bit disappointed with that. I think it's probably 2 to Jason Banks. I'm not quite sure about the very short ball. Yeah, 2 gone. Going to measure it.
Shots, Jason Banks.
It's the 3 shots it was.
3 shots, Jason Banks. Set score 0-3 after the first end, second set.
Looks like we're going to see Jason go to his preferred length again. It's a real tale of two lengths.
Jack length 29 metres.
Good correction again. Just going to fall away, so Paul will still remain shot.
Wouldn't be surprised to see a relatively confident draw after that most recent bowl. Yard or so through.
Nice little shelf, isn't there?
Yeah, you get rewarded for being just over. Just hasn't made it to the jack.
That's actually not bad because it's finished the other side of the head. Had it sat all together, Jason could obviously have played all 3 balls away, but that's actually finished, as you can see there, nicely tucked out to sight in a way. That wall is still available for Jason to draw down to. Sits on the second ball, falls in. If it falls back against the jack, well, it's a little Brucey bonus.
That would be it, yeah. I think that most recent bowl of Paul's has just taken the heavier timer out of contention. Although he's going for it.
So
It's going to slide away from him.
Nice thin contact. Oh, Jason, dearie me.
And he's apologised.
Yeah.
That was not plan A.
Yeah, he's a lot taller than Jason. I'd apologise as well. Okay. Oh, yeah, just looking at Paul's eyes then. Don't think this will get back, will it? Just not going to get back.
Maybe to the shelf and in. Ooh. He's going to feel a little bit robbed there. It's looking like a multiple and
definitely
walking out of it one down.
A little ripped off, yeah. However, they all count. So another single for Jason. I mean, this is the start he needed.
One shot,
having lost that
Jason
first
Banks.
set.
Set score 4-0-4 after 2 ends. Jack length 30 metres.
Get down to the jack. He has done. He's played this really well, very well.
Pick it up here, Neil. After the shot, 3/4 inch. What's my ball for jack high? Your ball 6 inches short. What's the gap on my ball? 6 inches.
Oh, well played. Great to see this. Lots of different play. Lots of precision play. Here comes another one. If you can just sit back, that'll be shot as well. Yeah, has done. Well played. Tip for tap. Down the forehand for Jason. Gets to the jack. Ideally turns that bowl of Paul's. Sits behind it himself. Oh, Jason. Surely he must have a chance. Might just get it too thin. Unlucky, great effort. Paul still lies. Paul's ball's just ever so slightly past jack high.
left a little funnel there. Wouldn't be surprised to see Jason with a bit of a rumble.
Yeah, he's 4 up. The only problem is, obviously, with Paul surrounding that now, if he gets a bad connection on the plant, if you get 3/4 and away, may leave Paul a 3. The only thing is, where Paul's finished, it's almost forcing Jason in a way to play something more aggressive.
Yeah, he sort of needs to go as slow as possible under that bowl. So, but with these really, it's got a pretty aggressive set of bowls in terms of turn. He might have to play nearly to the ditch, or even just to the ditch, to give it a chance to get the shot.
Yeah, forehand underneath with pace, looking for jack solid, bowl solid.
It's interesting.
Needs to bend.
It's a bit early to gamble.
Yes.
I think he'd just be happy to take the free kick and
few options.
draw a second, maybe touch that wide bowl in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gets underneath it, sits the front one back against the bar, so they'll all count for a second. Not a lot of danger.
Just shy of it.
One shot, half Foster.
So Paul gets on the scorecard for this second
One
set.
shot, Paul Foster. Set score 1-4 after
So
3
trying
ends.
something different here. Just trying to shake Jason Banks off his consistency. So he's brought the mat almost right up. So the jack will go to the tee. So playing the same length that he has been playing, but in a different position on the green.
Yeah, and it's interesting because tactically now that's going to bring the ditch into play more so than the respots. And
Track length 24.5 metres.
do you wonder if it's just I need to change something, or is there maybe a deeper ploy here?
I think he's just trying to shake Jason. He's playing the same length, but the lines will slightly change now. That's the difference.
I'm not sure how it is in the UK, but it feels, at home it always feels like the more aggressive player, or the player that wants to play through the head, is going to be the one that's closer to wanting to put the jack closer to the tee.
Yeah.
But they both got that shot in their arsenal. So
Well, it's just caught both of them out just at the moment with the first couple of bowls.
First one, Neil. Almost 3 feet.
great correction here. These new links haven't really caught them out for too long.
Cap 11 inches.
No, it's all about, isn't it, who corrects quickest. It's like you normally find in the evening games when the atmospheric pressure changes and the speed of the carpet slows down, it's who adapts first. All part of the skill base, isn't it?
And for those that haven't really played too much on indoor, you'd think it'd be the same all the time. But it's amazing how quickly the green can change in terms of speed.
Well, he's in for two and measure. I'm not quite sure if it's the back bowl or front bowl. So it's a big bowl this for Paul, because Jason Banks is already 3 ahead. Just looking for good pace and a miss. Falls away, it's still going to be a pair for Jason, yeah. So another chance here. 3 here would be really big going into this next sort of the 5th end. That'll be. Yeah, he's taking advantage, hasn't he? Yeah, well played. Good balls that end. Strange, isn't it?
3
Batched
shots,
a little bit.
Jason Banks.
That's a risk.
Set
That's the risk you
score,
take, though. You know,
1-7
that was a foreign length to both
after 4
parties.
ends.
But I do think it was time in the set to try something. It just didn't come off.
Jack length, 28.5 metres.
It's well played with the first again. Paul will just keep plugging away.
3.5
Like we
inches.
said earlier, he can afford to tie this set, so 6 adrift with 5 ends is plenty of time. Just keep trying to string up maybe 2 or 3 ends together.
Yeah, and there's not really a way you can force multiples. You sort of just have to play your bowls and hope that there's something that opens up on the 3rd or 4th bowl.
Yep.
Paul just wants to have a look, he'll just see. I think he'll be looking at to see which is Jason's nearest bowl, which is the bowl past the jack rather than the bowl in front of the jack. There's still actually quite a bit of room in there. It's a good chance for Paul just to sneak one in now. Hope Jason misses and then add another.
Put the pressure on, and even a 2 here would be enough to feel like you're right back in the set.
He's just pushing through again, isn't he? Yeah. Yeah, I'd be a little bit annoyed with that one. It was a chance.
I feel like here, if you're Jason, you don't really want to change the head too much.
No, he'll just continue drawing.
Dead draw it, add another bowl in the head, 1 down. It's a good place to be.
He's fully in the driving seats. The singles are okay. It'll be the multiples that will kill this set for him. Paul's probably got about 18 inches to land the ball within. You know, you look at both sides of the jack. That little kick mean.
So he's on a decent line for it. Might just run through again.
Where's the break?
Oh, maybe.
Jason straight in to have a look at that. That's one conceded.
Yeah, just leave it both ends.
So they're going to just measure these. May as well. So many players just dance around the head for 10 minutes having a look, don't they? Just get the measures in.
Especially at bowls at this level where there's an umpire sitting there waiting for just for you. So
It's just seeing whether the calipers would just fit there, ever so slightly too big. So the box measure comes out. Little locking device on the top for those new players, or if you are just tuning in for the first time. So it's going to Paul Foster's bowl first. That's because he's going to measure Paul's against Jason's 2. So give us a rough idea. No, so Paul's bowl beats the front bowl. Steady hands. I think it went through there again, so they have to go back to the original measure just to make sure there's been no movement within the measure itself. So test that. 2 it is.
Two shots. Paul Foster. Set score 3-7 after 5 ends.
So the deficit is reduced to 4.
Jack length 24.5 metres.
Just a quick reset. It's always wise just to put your bowl down and pick another one up into it. I don't know if it's psychological or whether there is actually something about it. It's about how you reset.
yeah, well, I always learnt that the shot starts before you're on the mat. So yeah, doing the whole routine just gets you back into the right mindset, especially in an event like this without the shot clock. Yeah, most of these players have plenty of time to reset, maybe 2 or 3 times with a 30-second shot clock, but especially here you can take all the time you need.
Exactly. In the greatest amount of time.
Paul's just got to look in here. He capitalises with this bowl. It's set could start to look pretty interesting.
This is the thing. I mean, Jason's raced off into a good lead and then just eased off. Maybe it's always hard to say just keep your foot on the accelerator. Don't you keep pushing, keep pushing. It just seems to have just fallen away off his length a little bit. Because nothing much has changed, has it, within the game? It's funny how you just have that 2 or 3 ends where you just think, oh my goodness, what's going on? I need to wake up.
Or you're starting to think about the tiebreaker. You know, there's little thoughts, and it's not a lot of change in how you're bowling.
The trouble is, if he relaxes, he might not get to the tie break.
That's
you know,
it.
He's just played 2 loose bowls. Paul will try and punish him. Has done.
And he has done.
Found good line. He just wants to increase the pace. Much better.
It's a great correction here.
Nearly played this, you know. Well, that's bounced back onto it. Well played. Nicely locked in as well. Finished quite well. I thought it was just going to finish in that gap for Paul to be able to get to, but But you can just see from there, he can see it. The trouble is to get to it, he's going to have to probably lose a couple of his own bowls.
Yeah, he'll get super lucky getting the edge of it straight out. I do wonder what his weight's going to be. It could be that little timer 2 yards through to trail it, to drag it back.
Sticking to the draw.
Draw.
Well, Paul.
He's played it.
Well, Paul needs to stop.
Oh.
I think that's just gone out, personally.
Yeah, I have to agree with you.
The only danger is for Jason to push Paul's ball back in, but he's not on that trajectory. He's played it well. Look at this. Yeah, good ball. Really, really good ball. Makes
Two
a double.
shots, Jason Banks. Set score
9-3
3-9
is the score.
after 6
3 ends
ends.
to play. So tiebreaker starting to look a little bit more likely. Thanks for joining us once again down here at the Scottish International Open for 2024. Down to the quarter-final stages, some great games. This game obviously pulled one set ahead. Other players in the quarter-final stages.
Jack
Les
length,
Gillett
28
faces
and a half
Nick Brett.
metres.
But Paxton takes on Aaron Johnson on the streaming rink later on at 6:30. And on the outside ring, at the moment, you've got Mervyn King and Stuart Anderson. So Stuart Anderson's just beaten Mervyn King 2. Jason will just look to couple up to his previous bowl. Maybe finishes just past centre line's not bad. Well played. Brilliant. I wonder whether Paul might just take a chance here, just down the other hand, maybe just release it. He can work off his own bowl. Yeah, I thought he might do that. Just try and open it up.
I think you have to at this point as well. Oh, it's unlucky. When the score's starting to get it run away from you and you're running out of time, you do have to take a few risks. Smart ball here just to cover the risk. If Paul does hit it, it's most likely to go out of bounds.
Last ball, how far off the spot is it? 2.5 feet.
Again, just trying to play a hit and recover kind of a shot. He has hit the target this time. What's the look? Is it coming with it? Been unlucky.
That's it, yes, yeah. Yeah, if he misses that one away, it starts to look very ugly in terms of the set.
Jason, of course, will try and draw for another. Ideally, he doesn't want to sit anywhere near the shot bowl. If he can finish the other side of the jack, foot pass would be very good. Almost force Paul into being contained to getting just a single shot. Just looking on the angle, I mean, I know Paul can't see the jack, but the short bowl's probably 18 inches, whether he can just time it and drag the jack for a pair. Almost drawing to the centre line through the jack.
It's giving it a chance.
He's got the shot. Oh,
Great ball.
keeps his hopes alive. That single there brings it down to
One shot. Paul
just
Foster.
5
Set
in
score.
2 ends.
4,
Jason Banks
9,
obviously just needs to win
7
this end
ends.
to force the tie-break. Will win either of the last 2 ends. Paul will be looking at probably scoring at least a double on this end.
Jack length 27 metres.
Well, in for a double. Still a bit of room for Jason though.
He ran on just a touch, but the grouping will always give you a chance to get that 2 or 3.
Jason's put a stop to it. Match that grouping.
And down. No, you lie. You lie.
1 to Paul is the call. Urging this forward.
Stay down. Yep, 2 yeps.
But the draw's still there. It's still a relatively open hand.
Can he just get back? If he sits, he's in for shot. Has done. That's a set light. He hasn't really got much else on apart from just draw the shot.
Draw the shot and hope you drag it just that inch or two to bring those back 2 bowls in, get a multiple.
Well, Jason's coming down to play this, so it's obviously got the shot. So a draw to within a foot to take this second set, force the tie break. Not a million miles away. I think he's played this, you know, if he gets over the top of this ball, he has done. Well played, Jason Banks. So 1 set each. That means we go into a tie break. The rules slightly change here now, so it doesn't matter how many shots is scored per end, it's just the first player to win. No matter whether you win a 1, 2, 3 or 4, it's just the first player to win
Set
2
score.
ends. The first 2 ends
10.
are still played the same, it's still a
Set
respotted
to
jack,
Jason
so he
Banks.
still can't kill any of the ends. So Jason's got the mat, so he'll choose his preferred length, and Paul will have last ball. This game could absolutely go anyway, couldn't it, Tim? It's been absolutely fantastic.
Meters.
Crowd always love a good tie break.
It's a pretty handy start to the tiebreak as well.
Yeah, not too bad, is it? 14 inches. He'll want to close this down with this bowl. Try and get right up nice and close, right in front of the jack. That'll do. Centre line's good. About 10 inches away.
Sort of takes that back bowl out of it as well. It's a nice place to be, but I think there's a bit more left in this end.
Yes, I don't think we've seen the winner yet. Just
Which ball is mine the neatest, Neil? Your back ball. What's the gap on it? 10 inches.
so again, just playing to close the end down, get one close. Don't really want to be giving Paul Foster a couple of chances at a foot to draw, but that foot's still going to be there. Will Paul take the chance just to punish Jason a little bit from leaving it wide open, put him under pressure with his next delivery?
Definitely got a bit more height to this one.
Is he reaching again? Is he reaching? He's to run. It's going to fall out. Falling away, so it's still 1 to Jason Banks with the back bowl. Both players have got 1 bowl each left to play.
But again, can't really rest on his laurels here. Really needs to tidy it up. It's
Yep.
quite an inviting hand to draw into.
And if he just turns the jack slightly round the corner out of sight, because Paul's got the best 2 backs. Especially this side. Jason's got 1 deep on the other side. Sometimes you just can't overthink it. Just maybe just play it out your head. You know what I mean?
Treat it like a roll up.
Yeah,
Just get it on there. Which I think he has.
think that's probably just made shot ball, but there's still that probably the jack.
Hasn't really changed the head too much. Maybe just given Paul a little shelf to run off if he slides in.
So this is where the advantage of the final bowl comes in, because Jason's no reply. So forehand draw for the first tie-break end. Reaching, it's slightly further. Can he fall off the bowl? Oh, he's got it too thick. Just got that short bowl too thick, so Jason Banks will take the shot. It's Jason's choice of jack. He's
First
giving it to Paul
tie-break
Foster.
end, Jason Banks.
I wonder if this is going to be one of those games where it goes all the way to that final tie-break end.
It deserves it, I think. I think it's just been too good of a game to not go down to the wire.
Jack length, 26.5 metres.
It's a much better start from Paul.
It's a handy response though.
Got it, brilliant. Well played.
Gap's 3 inches.
Only a foot. That's all it was, a foot.
Which out of two's his nearest ball? Last ball, 11-inch gap. Is it the nearest of his two? Yes.
Do you think you're flipping it over if you're Jason?
Yeah, he's looking at playing down the backhand though, I think. Maybe just get front toucher. Just,
Tidy it up that way.
yeah. Either that or you leave it. I think the front toucher would be the better option. Line's pretty good.
So is the weight.
Been a little bit unlucky finishing that side of the jack. Had it finished centre ring, you know what it's like yourself, Tim. It's a lot harder. It's the same shot, it's still a draw, but you can't see the jack. It psychologically comes a little bit harder.
Yeah. There's something about seeing what you're trying to hit.
Mind if I come up for a look, Neil?
Here comes the strong bias ball. He's nearly played this, Tim. He has done.
It's just Jason's turn to do the same thing back.
It's the same shot. They've both got the same shot. Bowl or the jack for Jason Banks. I mean, if he gets the jack and just turns it out of sight, that'd be absolutely brilliant. Even if he gets to Paul's bowl first and falls back on the jack, that won't be a bad shout neither. Just won't get back. It's a similar line to Paul Foster's, but he's playing with a slightly narrower make of bowl. I think that was probably the only difference there, because it was not far away at all.
And the weight was perfect for it as well.
This is where it becomes difficult now, because Paul's line one, Jason's a bowl left. You know, in an ideal world, you'd want to either protect it or make it better. However, there's a lot of danger there for Paul. If he falls against the jack, touches the jack, it's game over.
I wonder if he stays away and looks like he's just trying to get another one into the head. Bit of a blocker maybe.
Yeah, you can see his intention, just trying to get something in Jason's way. He's just gone slightly underneath the line. Does that quite a lot down there. It's a big swinging hand. Well, you can see there exactly what Jason Banks can see. He's played some very good weighted shots. I mean, from the mat, Paul's bowl's sticking out like a sore thumb. And it's the right side of the jack for Jason's bowls as well.
That's it. The last ball he played as well was such a good weight and not far off. Just a slight adjustment. And
there's only two choices. He sticks to that just reaching down the backhand, or he plays quicker directly for the bowl and hope he gets a nice solid contact with no spin. It's going to go quick. Backhand drive for the bowl. Oh!
shot.
I'm not sure whether is that going to be enough? It is, it stayed in. Well, what a fantastic drive from Jason Banks. Played it extremely well. You can just see there the jack's gone onto the respot, and because obviously they're so far away, Jason's bowl that he actually drove with wins the game in the ditch. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, that first set was just absolute world class. A little bit scratchy in the second set, but it was Jason Banks that dragged it to a tie break and took full advantage over Paul in that tie break, and he will book himself into the semi-finals. Thank you for joining me today.
Thanks very much for having me.
You're more than welcome. Okay everyone, so let's have a look at what we have for the rest of the day. Well, it's the next session of the quarterfinals. 6:30, Robert Paxton against the English qualifier, Aaron Johnson. Well, I'm afraid that's all we have time for now, so until 6:30 this evening, it's bye-bye for now.